You can make your first $10,000 in profit on Amazon faster than you think. And I know this is true because I've sold over $5 million on Amazon worth of name brand products like this pair of pants that you can get at Walmart today for $10. And then you can sell this exact same pair of pants for $25 on Amazon. That leaves you with a $4 profit per unit. We can make this even more profitable than this, and we're going to dive into lots of fun tactics in this video. And this video is going to cover all of the essential information you need to know to hit that first $10,000 in profit as soon as possible. So in today's video, I'm going to teach you how to find a ton of winning products just like that example as cheaply as possible. We're going to talk about all the essential tools you need, how to get signed up, and how to actually make sales on Amazon as fast as possible. So consider this your free mini course to getting started selling on Amazon. Let's jump in. So the obvious step one, hopefully I don't need to spell this out to you, but just so it's all in here, go to sell.amazon.com and sign up for an Amazon seller account. When you go to this website, you'll see there's a couple cool incentives for getting started selling on Amazon. One of the ones that is going to be really nice for you is you can get your first $100 in shipments off to Amazon completely free. So basically your first items that you ship off to Amazon don't have to worry about any shipping costs. And in order to get approved for the Amazon seller account, you do need to have a credit card. You can't use a debit card. That's basically the charge method Amazon's going to use on your initial fees, shipping, anything like that you end up charging to your account before you make any sales. You're also going to need to have an address that you can use as your business address. For me, this was just my personal house when I first started selling on Amazon. You don't need to have any special business address, anything like that. And then Amazon's also going to want you to have a business of some kind, but a sole proprietor does count, and you automatically have a sole proprietor just by starting a business. Now, keep in mind that I personally didn't have an LLC or a formal company like that when I started selling on Amazon, but that's because I was a broke college kid. I didn't really have any personal assets to protect. So if you do have family, house, that kind of thing, it's probably smart for you to do that. But again, I'm not a lawyer, not an accountant, anything like that. So I'd really recommend consulting an expert on that if you're someone who thinks that you might benefit from having an actual LLC. Just know that Amazon does not require that. After you go through the sign up process, Amazon will typically verify your address. That can take a week or two for them to ship out a postcard to you, basically just to prove that you actually live at that address. It'll just have like a PIN number on it, and then you submit that to Amazon. So as long as you have at least $1,000 to start this business, let's go ahead and jump into the more important things as far as what tools you need, how to source software so you can start doing this while you're waiting for your Amazon account to get approved. Because a bunch of the most successful Amazon sellers I know, they didn't just wait around. They're not consistently studying. They're getting after it. They're making progress. Even if they're not actually buying things while they're waiting for the account, they're at least getting in the reps and learning how to do it. So let's jump back into the computer, and that's where we'll jump into the first tool you need. This is called SellerAmp. This is how you'll do your product sourcing. It's basically the Swiss Army knife for Amazon sellers, and it starts at $20 a month. The other tool that you'll need for product sourcing is called Keepa. This one's another $20 a month, and you'll see why these tools are important as we're diving in and sourcing products here in just a second. And then you also need a tool called Boxum. This one starts at $50 a month, and with Boxum, you're going to be able to ship items to Amazon, track how much profit your business is actually making. Basically, the whole back end of your business is managed through Boxum. So these are the three softwares that you need to actually get started selling on Amazon. And with that in mind, let's just go ahead and start sourcing some products together, right? So as a starting point for any Amazon seller, I really like going to the brands that are sold only by retail stores. So what I mean by that, so Avia is like a brand that Walmart owns. You can think of Athletic Works or Stafford or 32 Degrees, just to name a couple other brands that are easy starting points as a beginner Amazon seller. And don't overthink this part. Just go to basically any listing in those brands, because when we go to this listing, when we check out SellerAmp, we're going to see down here on the offers tab that there are a ton of other Amazon sellers that are already selling this product on Amazon, which means that they have to be buying this particular brand from Walmart, which then means a bunch of the other products in their storefront are going to be bought from Walmart, Target, Walgreens, Vitacost, etc., right? So a bunch of the items that we can look at their storefronts, we're going to probably be able to figure out where they're sourcing some stuff from. So I like opening up a storefront that has anywhere from 5 to 10 feedback to 100 feedback, more than that, and they might be doing some more complicated things that might be kind of harder to reverse source is what we're doing. We're reverse sourcing the best products in these Amazon seller storefronts. And the way we're going to do that is by getting a quick glance at all the most important stats about this product, right? So I can see how fast it sells. I can see the maximum cost that I want to pay for this item in order for me to make a profit. So in this case, if I can buy these for $12.60 or less, then I'll be making my ideal profit, which is about a 30% ROI and a $3 profit or more. So if we think we can buy it for this max cost, which if you're a brand new Amazon seller, you probably have no idea, start opening up these Google buttons. That's why it can also be a good idea as a starting point. If you have any like personal interests or personal hobbies that relate to like specific products, maybe you really like to do makeup, or you're into, certain like trains hobby or something like that, right? You probably know some of the best brands to sell and some of the cheapest places to buy it. No worries if you don't have any expertise like that. I definitely didn't. I just kind of started diving in and sourcing whatever I can. And then we can go ahead and start seeing any of the search results off of the Google button, right? So that just takes the title and searches that into Google. And remember, we needed to buy this for $12.60 to make a profit. Seems like a lot of these are like $19. Let's see, software. I see climate right. So these are slightly different, selling from Walmart. So in this case, we know that we can probably just go ahead and keep strolling along here. We're not really going to be able to find a coupon or discounted gift card. Some of those things that we'll get into in terms of ways to make your items profitable. We're going to have a hard time making an item, 30 to 40% cheaper basically is what we would need for that $19 to go down to around $12, right? So let's just keep chugging along, right? So these, for example, I don't know if we can buy these for $8.50. Let's go ahead and check it out though. So quickly Googling these, it seems like we can get a lot of these for $9.96, maybe even $5. You can see what's included in here. Maybe those are out of stock right now. So these are, so these are $8.52 as our max cost. Got a really good history of selling for 21 to 23 bucks. So very consistent at this price point. So if we can buy this for $8 or so, we're making profit. In this case though, I think we're buying these for like 10 to 11 bucks is what it seems like. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, so a lot of these are 10 bucks right there. So we'll go ahead and keep going along there. That's also an auto ungated brand for any of you brand new Amazon sellers. You should be able to automatically get approved to sell Athletic Works. We'll talk more about the full ungating process as well. So if you're worried about selling these big name brands, thinking you can't sell that stuff, we'll talk about that as well. Let's just keep going along here, right? So these we need to buy for 13, similar story. Those are going for 19. Let's see, we need to buy these for 12 bucks or selling 50 times a month. Let's see what the stats look like here. Okay, so these could be interesting. These seem like they are 11 bucks. So it's a 6-pack as well. So it's actually selling an extra pair of socks. So I don't think anybody would be too upset about that there. Make sure they look the same. Yeah, I got that like kind of toe at the end. Yeah, they look pretty much the same to me. Even got that same sticker there, that like arch, something about like arch compression or something like that. Sweet. So these are 11 bucks for sale on Walmart, or I was it 11.99? No, it was just 11 bucks. Yeah, so buying for 11, these sell for 28 bucks on Amazon. So we make a $5 profit on every sale, and it sells over 50 times a month. Let's see how much competition we have too. So on this listing, typically you're only going to have to worry about competing with other FBA sellers, just because Amazon tends to favor those sellers in the buy box. Buy box being this add to cart button. That's your goal as an Amazon seller, is to win that add to cart button. And you can do that by having the fastest shipping speed and generally right around the lowest price or the lowest price. So here on this listing, we have 3 other FBA sellers who are basically at the current buy box price. We would be the 4th FBA seller. So we could estimate we would sell anywhere from like 12 to 15 of these every month, right? So that right there, we can add that to our business. Now we're making anywhere from, 50 to 100 bucks, depending on how fast they end up selling. That's just one product, right? So let's go ahead and keep going down the list. And especially when I'm doing reverse sourcing and I find some items that are close to profitable or just straight up profitable, I tend to keep digging through that storefront. If I look through the first like 10 or so and none of it's really even close to profit, then typically I will start looking at a different storefront on the listing that I basically came from. So let's check these out. So similar brand to those socks we started with. And let's see, so we buy these for $10.78 or less, we're making profit. And it seems like that could be the case here as well. So yeah, we're buying these for $9.97. Let's check some of the stats here. Okay, so a much bigger history of this going for like 18 to 20 bucks. That's why you always want to jump in. And then this is Keepa, by the way, just so you see why we need those 2 different tools there. Yeah, so usually it's like 19, something like that. So not super interested in that. Want to make a little bit more profit. Let's go ahead and keep scrolling along here. So these are, we need to buy these for $4.80 for 10 of them. We can always just do a quick check. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that before. Okay, those are from Walmart, but they were $7.50. And yeah, so not quite on that one. It seems like this seller's buying a lot of their stuff from Walmart, which makes it easier when now that we're doing product sourcing, we can basically kind of figure out exactly where these items are coming from. So let's see, these we need to buy for $9.50 or so. Let's check the data a little bit. And then if these end up being profitable, I'll show you guys a way to basically make items profitable that a lot of people probably aren't aware of or definitely aren't taking advantage of fully. So let's see, on the charts down here, good history of this selling for like 23 bucks recently. If it's at 23 and we're buying for 10, it's not quite profitable, but what we can do now is we can start thinking of ways to increase our margins and do things that less hardworking Amazon sellers are not willing to do, right? So in this example, I can typically buy a discounted gift card at Walmart, and then with that discounted money, I can go basically bake in and automatically get cheaper buy costs. So this right here, we can see we get 9.2% off at Walmart. And when you buy through these gift card marketplaces, you're basically just saying, hey, I will give you, $453. You give me a $500 Walmart gift card, and then it'll pretty much just show in your email pretty quickly, right? So here, these are $9 or basically 9% off. So now we can go back here and see if that makes it interesting. In this case, I'm not sure it's going to be quite enough, but you can just go ahead and go minus 9%. You do your math in SellerAmp there. And then when we do that, we can see that we're actually going to make a $2.87 profit. So it's like just below what I like to make. The ROI looks good. So let me know if you guys would pick this up. Just for the sake of fairness, we can say, well, we'll find something better, but I might be kind of interested in this. No one really returns socks. ROI looks pretty decent. And basically all you're doing is buying it and putting a sticker on it too. Let's see what else we can find though. So these only sell 11 times a month. Typically I want to find things that sell at least 30 times a month. So I'm not super interested in that, although they might be profitable. We already found a similar listing to those. So yeah, you guys can let me know if you'd buy that as well. Let's see. Hey, these are my leggings here. It's funny. That's my name. Let's see if my leggings are profitable here. So these are anywhere from $8 to $10 on Amazon. And then this listing, they're going for like 14. Another thing that we can do though, now that we found something that has a lot of different sizes and colors, is we can see if any of these specific variations or different, combinations of size and color would be profitable for us. So we can press variations on Keepa, and then I'll filter by the current highest price right here. So I can see the most expensive variation on this listing is large to extra large white. And let's see, so those are $19.57, and we would need to buy them for $6.60 or less to make a profit. Nothing else on this listing is more expensive, and we know that we can't probably buy those for that price. So we can immediately disqualify how many ASINs are on this right here. A good chunk of ASINs, right? All these ASINs, we know that they're not good just by doing one quick check there. And sometimes you're going to find variations where you might actually be able to make some profit. So let's just, for the sake of the experiment here, let's see if any of these socks on this listing we were already looking at would be, pretty decent, right? So here I can find several that are going for like $23 here. So like the ones with the pink on the end seem like they're 25, 26, 27, 28. So let's just quickly check and see if we can find this listing, because if so, then now using that variations trick, we've seen like 4 versions of this pair of socks that was more expensive than the one we basically started with and said was pretty close to profit. So let's see, we can go ahead and hit the Google button there. And if we have the pink ones here, let's see. Yeah, so nice. So you do see that variety. It's got the half pink, half black. They're both in stock as well. We can actually hit add to cart button with shipping. So nice. Both of those are actually in stock there. So we can go ahead and jump in and look at the data here. These are the size 9 to 12 right here. We're buying these for a little over $9 with that discounted gift card. So just call it $9.25. So nice. That's a lot better, right? Sells for a $7 profit. We can also just verify that that does actually sell by looking and seeing how many ratings that this item has. So for example, this right here, this black assorted, the size 9 to 12 actually has no rating. So maybe doesn't sell super well. This one though, the 4 to 9 that was selling for, yeah, nice history. You can see it right there, selling for between 27, 25 up to $27, has 34 ratings. So the average leaving ratings on Amazon is super low. I don't know about you guys, but I basically never leave ratings on Amazon, even as a seller. You got to think that the average review really means that there was somewhere between 25 to 50 sales, and that's being pretty conservative. For my personal Amazon store, it's closer to like 1% of sales actually leave a review. So it could be a lot more than, 25 to 50 sales per rating left there, but still great proof that this item does actually sell. Sells for $27 right there. So let's just punch in 26 just in case the price drops a little bit on us. Buying for $9.25 with our discounted gift card. Yeah, those are making us a $5 profit right there. So that's another basically good proof of concept there. We know that this could actually make us some profit. We can just keep chugging along. Let's see if we can find any other ones here. So these are $12.50, and one is a brand that should also be auto ungated for a lot of you guys, and we'll still talk about how to get ungated and all that good stuff. As I'm going through, I'm seeing a lot of the same like types of products. Let's see, like Camelback. So one quick thing, I can see Amazon's on this listing. You see how Amazon shows up on the offers right there. And when I look at this chart, there's that nice orange highlighting. That tells me that Amazon is very consistently selling on this product. It can be pretty tricky to compete with Amazon as a seller if they're all over the listing. So that's just kind of one of those things to look out for. So to skip that product basically. Just quickly jumping through here, because now that we also have looked at more and more products, and this is where reverse sourcing becomes even more powerful, we kind of have a better idea of what things tend to sell for on Amazon. I don't think we're going to get 4 of these for $1.17, right? So we can keep going. These we were looking at earlier, they were actually $19. This is a $16.50 max buy cost, so a little bit closer, still not quite. These could be interesting though, because I think we found these for $10 earlier, right? When our max cost on these is $10. Let's pop this open. Those were $10 on that listing. Let's go ahead and see how fast these sell. Yeah, so over 100 times a month. We can see we're buying these for 10 plus a little bit of discounted gift card, where we're basically getting that 9% off. We can just do the math in there. So we're buying for $9.10. This is a $4.78 profit. So there's another nice item there. All of these items, by the way, I'd probably test order 5, 10, 20 units of them just to see how fast they sell. And as they start selling, then you can kind of restock and place much bigger orders based on the real data that you have. As you look at more and more items and sell more and more items, you kind of develop that muscle for how fast things actually sell. Here's another one, right? Decent history of going for $25 or more on this Keepa chart. See a $10 max buy cost, so that would be profitable as well. Another profitable item, scrapbooking paper. So let's check it out. You can sell anything under the sun as long as the profit looks good. What brand is this? Park Lane store. This one's a little bit confusing to me. It's not immediately pulling much up. I'll just go ahead and keep going along there. Maybe I'm missing out on some profit. Let's see. You can also sell like shampoos and that kind of stuff on Amazon. I've definitely done a good amount of that. Let's see if this is a good example. So it's a 1-pack, 17 ounces. Is this 17 ounces? Okay, that's 12. So what we can do is add some quotations around that, so we know we're only going to get 17.7 ounce listings. Maybe like discontinued or something. Typically, you'd see it on a lot more places than just Amazon. If this size still existed, could be a little bit of a shrinkflation or something like that going on this product. How big is this bottle? Let's see, 16 ounces. I bet they shrunk the bottles instead of raising the price. Probably what happened here. here in like the manufacturer level. So obviously wouldn't be super happy if I'm a customer getting a smaller bottle than I actually received. So probably not too much to source based on that. So yeah, we found several profitable items here. We touched on it a little bit, but I also want to show you the real key to making a ton of profit on Amazon. And that's by finding profit where less people are kind of digging deep for, right? So we already talked about discounted gift cards. Another good way to boost those profit margins is with cashback. So we can use a website called Cashback Monitor. And let me just search Walmart because that's where we're sourcing some products today. We can see Active Junkie, for example. They have a 5% cashback rate, and that is higher than any other cashback service, right? These are free to use, which is usually like a Chrome extension or a website. You just click like shop on Walmart and it will automatically send that money to your cashback balance after you place that transaction. So we could get another 5% of that back. I typically just treat cashback as bonus money. It's not always going to pay out. Some of these services don't like resellers, so they might pay you out, 50, 60, 70% of the time. That's why I just kind of treat it as bonus money and don't bake it into my actual profit margins. As you're digging through websites as well, you'll also want to make sure you have the Capital One Shopping Chrome extension. Coupons are an awesome way to get things cheaper. So you can see like if the CVS bottle was the right size, we can try a bunch of these coupon codes and see. Sometimes you'll see like random numbers and stuff. Like those might be like employee discount codes or something like that slips in here, and you're able to get some cheaper products as well. So coupons is also massive for getting items cheaper. Also think about things like Ulta rewards programs, just rewards programs in general. I just like to use this as an example. Anytime you spend $1, you can basically get another Ulta points back, and then you can spend these Ulta points on more products. And so bang, that's another one of those things that can kind of increase your profit margin. So that's just like a couple of the profit margin boosting things. I've also got a free document down below of 12 ways to boost your profit margins. If you want to check that out, if you want to be a serious, smart Amazon seller, I'll leave that down below in the description as well. So now you know the basics of sourcing products to sell on Amazon. Let's talk about getting approved or ungated to sell these big name brands as well. But real quickly before we do, I want to let you know that we host free live classes every couple weeks. We jump into crazy high-powered sourcing methods that we typically only share on the live class. These are awesome, super high energy events. And if you come through, you will learn something new to help you make more money on Amazon. The link will be down below. It's completely free. Come ask questions, take notes, and I'll see you at the next live class. But with that in mind, let's quickly talk about how to get ungated or approved to sell these big name brands as well. And the way you can check and see if you're already approved to sell any of these big name brands is just go ahead and go to add products on Seller Central. This is under catalog, add products right there. When you search a brand name or anything like that, you're able to select the condition that you want to try to sell it in. In this case, I'm going to try to sell, DeWalt tools in new condition, and it makes me apply to sell this brand. If it makes me apply to sell this brand, all I need to do is press request approval right there. And then I'll go ahead and get an invoice for 10 units from my supplier. So in this case, it would be Walmart or Target or Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever you're buying from, and then submit that information to Amazon. Sometimes though, you'll be able to get automatically approved to sell big brands. So for example, if I search like Athletic Works on your account, if you go in here and you press new, it's probably going to say apply to sell, and then it'll load for a second, and then you'll immediately be able to sell it, right? See, it loads for a second. Let's see if I can get auto approved in this brand. Oh, nice, sweet. So whatever this brand is, seems like a private label, so probably not the smartest idea. One seller on it, but that's what it'll look like, right? It'll just load for a second, and then it'll say sell this product. I'll show you again just to see. Nice. So that was an auto ungate as well. So you can see when you go ahead and list on Amazon, if it does that and it immediately says sell this product, you can sell it. You can list it on Amazon. If it asks you for that invoice though, then you'll just go ahead and grab that invoice from your supplier. They'll email you the invoice. It'll be your order confirmation. You can also attach like the order tracking information, maybe even a picture of the item if they deny any of that information. Basically just show the whole picture to Amazon that proves that you buy legit name brand inventory. And now that you have profitable products that you're ungated to sell, let's talk about how to actually get those products sold on Amazon. Once you have products in hand, you can send them to Amazon FBA, where they will receive and start shipping out those orders to customers for you. Or you can also use Amazon FBM. That's where you're basically listing those things. It's more like eBay or Mercari, one of the like other smaller third-party marketplaces where when that customer buys it, you actually just ship it directly to them. Both are great. FBM in the early days is smart, so you can kind of test concept, but not every listing is going to allow you to sell as an FBM seller. Like I was talking about a little bit earlier, FBA sellers tend to be a lot more competitive when it comes to winning the buy box. So if you want to start creating FBA shipments and actually, getting those products shipped off to Amazon, start making sales, that's where you will start using Boxem. So when you're in your Boxem account, just click create a shipment here. Go ahead and fill out any of the information you need to, name the shipment, set the ship from address. I'm obviously going to use a fictional address here. We can also set the shipping method, and this is also really important. And this is something you have to use a software like Boxem for, which are 2D barcodes. When you're creating a shipment, these are automatically attached to your FBA box labels. When you slap those labels on the box, this is going to help your products check in at Amazon a little bit faster. So for my business, I make sales a couple days faster on average with no extra work, just because I use Boxem, and it just makes the rest of the process easier. So we can also automatically set the pricing based on what the price is right now. You can auto print the FN SKU labels. That's really smart. I'm going to do it manually just so you guys can see the kind of the manual process, how everything works. And then you'll also want to go ahead and store any of that important data, as you guys can see there. So let's just go ahead and create a shipment so you can see how it works, and I'll quickly walk you through the process. So you'd go ahead and list any items that you want to sell on Amazon ahead of time using the list FBA flow. It's super simple. We've got full guides on Box. I'm just going to kind of more quickly walk you through it so you can see how everything works. But I'm just going to use a product that I've already listed on Amazon before so you can see how it works, being Pokemon set that I found at a local retail store the other day. You can go ahead and select whatever SKU you want to send in. Again, you'll create this SKU through the list FBA process, very similar to this. I'm going to just show you this one time. I know you're smart, and Boxum's super easy to use here. So we can go ahead and set our list price, whatever you want to basically list that item at. Go ahead and set your buy cost. So in this case, say we bought it for 30 bucks or so. Set how many of these you're sending into Amazon. So on those pants and everything we're finding, you're probably buying 5, 10, 20 of those. Punch that in right there. You'll also go ahead and set an expiration date if your product has one. Set a prep category. So if it's like fragile or liquid or anything like that, just tell Amazon that it is one of those categories. And then you'll also go ahead and set who preps and who labels the item. So you typically want to set this to seller. You don't pay to do it yourself, right? It's pretty easy to do it. Or if you're really short on time, you can pay Amazon to prep and label products for you. It's about 55 cents per unit to label for you. And then it varies based on the type of prep you need. There's lots of different kind of cases there. For the most part, I have paid Amazon to label before. I've never really found it worth it to have Amazon prep products. Go ahead and add this to our shipment though. You can repeat this process for as many products as you have, and then just go ahead and press continue. After that's done, you'll start putting these products down into the boxes that will actually ship off to Amazon FBA. For this process, you can use a standard printer that you already have at home. If you're doing that, you can use these labels that are called 30 up labels. You can see they basically just look like this. You'll print out each of these individual barcode labels that you will then put over the UPC barcode on the product. If you want to be kind of ahead of the curve, and then this is what most kind of more experienced Amazon sellers use, is a Rollo label printer. So you can see something like this. It does cost like 200 bucks or so. So it is, if you want to send in your first shipment with the printer you already have at home, totally understand, but this makes it a lot faster. This is what I use to print out all my FN SKU labels and all that. But basically all we're going to do now is print these labels, and I'll just print one so you guys can see what it looks like basically. And it's going to print something out that just has this little barcode label looking thing. I will take this barcode label and I will put it over the UPC barcode on the original product. So here's just like a product I found at the store the other day. And then when that gets to Amazon, they're going to scan that barcode, and now they know that it's actually your item, so that when it sells, they'll scan that, they'll give you the credit for the sale. They'll basically put the money in your account. If you enabled the auto print SKU on step 1, like I kind of suggested, this will also automatically do it. So if we say, hey, I've got 5 of these units in my box, I have 1 of these, my dimensions are 15 by 15 by 15, whatever it is, you'll use a tape measure and a super simple scale, and then we'll say it's a 10-pound box. Go ahead and save that right there. If you enabled that auto print, it's going to automatically print them. If not, you can just print them right there and select how many you want. Repeat that process for as many products as you're shipping off to Amazon. Just keep in mind that each box you make, don't fill it higher than 50 pounds. If you ship boxes that are over 50 pounds, so basically like a team lift kind of thing, Amazon will give you a little bit of a fine if you ship boxes that are over 50 pounds. I typically like to put mine to 47, 48 pounds just in case Amazon's scale is slightly off, or the warehouse workers got their hand on the box or something like that, just so I don't accidentally get fined when I'm not supposed to. Just go ahead and continue. After you have everything nice and boxed up though, you'll repeat that. If for one item or 1,000 different items, whatever you want to do, you can put tons of different types of items in each box as well. It doesn't have to be, like one box per ASIN or UPC, that kind of thing. We'll go ahead and continue and submit that to Amazon. After all that information submits to Amazon, you're going to get 3 different options that Boxum has generated for us to create this Amazon FBA shipping label. And we can see in this case, there's 3 different prices. Most of them, they're all within like 50 cents. As you're creating larger and larger shipments, Boxum is going to save you a ton of money on shipping though. Being able to choose between a couple different options is something that I've really loved recently. And I can see that basically shipping to different options might have lower placement fees, but higher transportation fees and vice versa, right? So depending on where you're shipping and how much you're shipping, you want to see more options. And so Boxum kind of make that a little bit simpler for you. In this case, and pretty much always, you're going to want to pick the cheapest option. So that's going to be about $11 to ship that 10-pound box off to Amazon. When you're shipping smaller shipments, anywhere from 80 cents to $1 per pound tends to be pretty typical. If you're making those boxes closer to 50 pounds like you should be, you should pay about 60 cents a pound or even less in some cases. So let's go ahead and continue. We will go ahead and accept that and pay $11 to Amazon for this shipping label here. Once you complete that, you're going to be able to print out the UPS and FBA box labels. And I'm going to quickly show you what those look like. You can see here is that 2D barcode that we were talking about. So that's what Amazon's going to scan and help your products check in a little bit faster. This is your standard FBA box label. And then down here is your UPS box label. So now you just drop these off at UPS or pay UPS. Usually it's $6 to $10 depending on where you live, and they'll come pick up your shipment for you. So now you have all the basics to help you hit $10,000 in profit selling name brand products on Amazon. If this was helpful, please hit the subscribe button down below. It's a free way to help me out, help me hit my goal of having 100,000 subscribers here on the YouTube channel. Let me know down below if you have any questions, comments, anything like that. Always happy to chat with you guys down below. And if you haven't already, make sure you grab 2-week free trials of the tools that I talked about today, especially SellerAmp and Boxem. But I really appreciate you watching this video, and I will see you next time.